Hello, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. I wanted to speak with you today about a ketogenic diet. It's definitely a popular diet, and I've just recently written a very long blog on is it safe or not. And it was interesting researching this topic because a lot of individuals whom I respect in my field of functional medicine, root cause medicine, have directly opposing views on the topic. So I really wanted to do a deep dive in and see, really my thoughts about it. So I'm going to present information to you and then you can let me know. So, how do you develop ketones, or how do you produce ketones? After about 6 to 8 hours of not eating, your body's in a fasted state. You continue that about another 10 hours or so, and you have depleted your liver of its stored fuel, which is called glycogen. So at that point, the body needs something as a source of fuel. So you haven't eaten, your stored fuel from your liver is gone, so now it's time to get another source, and it starts burning fat, and that's ketosis. So now you're in a state of ketosis. And the benefits of ketosis are sugar cravings are gone, you can lose weight, you have mental clarity improved, good energy. Okay, that all sounds great. And then the other benefits are it enhances the production of your mitochondria and protects your mitochondria. So your mitochondria are the little furnaces inside all your cells that give you energy, and burn food, and they protect you against aging. They're very, very important, and they can definitely get depleted with a poor diet, with a lot of sugar, things like that. So mitochondrial protection is very important for every cell in your body because they're found in every cell, particularly important for brain health and protection against cancer, things like that. So that's another thing that's looked at when you're talking about a ketogenic diet, is that it naturally protects the mitochondria. So you go, okay, good. So how else can mitochondria be protected? And the way the ketogenic diet works is it produces a certain antioxidant called glutathione. I know there's a lot of weird names, just go with me on this, but glutathione is our most powerful antioxidant that we produce. So it's very protective. So are there other ways of producing glutathione? I'm going to look down a little bit. I've got some notes here. So one thing to understand is that glutathione and protection of the mitochondria can be gotten from other ways, not just a ketogenic diet. One thing I wanted to bring up that's protective is a certain enzyme. So let's look at the mitochondria. It's a little furnace, and it's burning energy, and it takes also the oxygen that you breathe, and as it kind of goes through combustion, like almost like your car would, what it sort of puts out as a result of that energy and oxygen coming together is something called superoxide. Okay, so superoxide is something that's not good, and what it does is it causes oxidation. Oxidation can cause aging, loss of brain health, cancer, heart disease. So we don't like oxidation. And once again, what the ketogenic diet is known for is producing a lot of extra glutathione, which is protection against that superoxide. Okay, so we got that. Now, what's interesting though is Mother Nature has some other ways that she can help you out. So there's an enzyme. It's another long word, killing you, right? But this enzyme is called superoxide, which was that offset of the oxygen being burned, dismutase. Forget about the name. So it's an enzyme that the body produces that basically turns that bad oxygen, the superoxide, back into oxygen. So you go, okay, Mother Nature's smart. She's caring for me. And so now I want to make sure I have a lot of that enzyme, because that's the protective enzyme that then kind of turns it back into a safe place and not this crazy oxidation occurring in the body. So where do you get this enzyme? It turns out that vegetarians have 300% more of this enzyme produced in their diets than meat eaters. So you go, okay, that's interesting. So it kind of makes sense, vegetarian diets or vegan diets are higher in fruits and vegetables. There's a lot of antioxidants in them. Also, women make more than men, which is maybe why women, it's well, women do live longer than men, and they're thinking the fact that we naturally have higher amounts of that enzyme could be part of that. All right, so we got that. Now, as I was getting into mitochondrial protection, so we need glutathione. Vegetarians have more of that enzyme that helps protect the mitochondria. Eating more plants, fruits, and vegetables that are higher in antioxidants are very healthy for us. We know that, but not all of them actually penetrate that mitochondria the way they need to. So, a little more research, I found another name that you're going to not be thrilled about, ergothioneine. Okay, just remember it's an amino acid. It's not an amino acid that's sort of been in the public eye that much, even though it was discovered about a century ago. But more recent research has seen that there's the body has a certain pathway, if you will, to ensure that this amino acid gets into our system, sort of a transport molecule. And this amino acid, I'm not going to say the name again, it's too long, is very protecting of, once again, our heart, our brain, our eyes, our joints, and it's anti-aging. Now, where that's found in the diet, predominantly beans were second to highest, and then this last one was 15 times higher than the beans, and it was mushrooms. So that's where this particular amino acid is found, and what's key about it is that it's very protecting, we know, of those mitochondria. So remember, the whole thing with the ketogenic diet is you're getting 80% fat that you're consuming, and the idea is that it's very protective of the brain, protective of the mitochondria. So I just wanted to see other ways that this could be done. The other thing with a ketogenic diet that's very key is that it has to be pulsed, meaning you can't just get on a ketogenic diet, and I think a lot of people do this incorrectly, is you get on this 80% fat diet and you don't ever get off of it. It's actually dangerous, and even authors of books like Dr. Mercola and Dr. Perlmutter, both of whom I respect a great deal, are the first to say, yes, this has got to be pulsed, meaning you have to go back and forth between that 80% fat, and then you have to have higher carbohydrate days. Why? Because the reason it's dangerous to not do that is that you'll actually produce more insulin, and insulin is that hormone that we're trying to avoid because it causes us to gain weight, moves us toward diabetes and metabolic syndrome, degenerative disease, etc. So you have to pulse with higher carbohydrate days to balance out this ketogenesis, if you will, so that you don't get a rebound of too much insulin, which is dangerous. So I was just looking at the kind of what would it be like to be on a ketogenic diet, and you have to have a kitchen scale and weigh what you're eating, measure what you're eating. You have to pulse it. So if you've so many days on a ketogenic diet, now you have to go to this other high carbohydrate diet. Realize when we say high carbs, we're not talking about, sugar, Twinkies, and, Snicker bars. We're talking about good carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates. So more of the fruits and the vegetables and the whole grains and the beans and the legumes, things that are good for you, but still, I just looked at the practicality of, now I'm on this day and now I'm on that day, and I just didn't like that. The way I like to get my patients into ketogenesis is the intermittent fasting way, which is kind of how I started this. You've got 6 to 8 hours of no food, and then by the time you're at about 16 hours, you're in that state of burning fat for fuel, which has a lot of health benefits. It's called intermittent fasting. I've written on it and blogged about it before, so you can definitely visit the site at rootcausemedicalclinic.com. But that's the way I prefer to do it, because just the practicality of, this is an 80% fat day, but now I'm on a carb day. How does that work with life and, and the rest of your family? And, it just sounded a bit complex to me. So I'm not negating the benefits of burning fat for fuel. I'm not negating the benefits of good fats, certainly, because I believe we absolutely need good fats. I'm not negating the benefits that those with certain diseases like Parkinson's and seizures and brain tumors, epilepsy, that there are specific disease states for which, of course, these are serious diseases. Being in a ketogenic state the majority of the time, making that effort to do ketosis and then pulsing those higher carbohydrate days. Sure, if you have a serious condition like that, then it's worth it. That changes the ball game. But for the patients I typically see who are in poor health, there's no two ways about that. They have autoimmune disease, they have degenerative disease, they have migraine headaches, they're fatigued, they have digestive problems, a whole host of issues that are serious, but they're not necessarily Parkinson's, brain tumors at that, at that end of the spectrum. So unless you're at that end of the spectrum, I believe that you can get the benefits of a ketogenic diet with the things I've just mentioned, the protection of your mitochondria through a way that you're eating day in and day out that's very stable versus, okay, Paleolithic man, the truth of the matter was he feasted and he famined, There was food and then there wasn't. And so she didn't get enough food and then they were in that ketogenic state. We don't have that problem, we are not fasting because there's literally nothing to eat and then feasting, on some animal that we ran down and are happy to get some food and in that state of higher fat when we eat it and then we're in like the famine state. That's not the way the world is going around for us. Not to say we shouldn't be very mindful of what's on the end of our fork and make huge efforts in that regard, obviously. My takeaway from it is that you can get the benefits that the ketogenic diet provides without the necessity of an 80% fat diet. So let me know your thoughts, and do understand that all those weird words I just used are written for you in a blog that I just produced called Is a Ketogenic Diet Safe? So you can really take a moment and see it visually. I know it was a lot just to say, but you can get all that data and look at it, and I'd love to hear your feedback and tell me how you're doing on a ketogenic diet. Do you know about pulsing? I find a lot of patients who come in to see us who've been following a ketogenic diet really haven't been doing it correctly from that regard, which can be dangerous, and that's part of the problem I think we've seen is that sort of rebound, high insulin, and actually making things worse. So let me know your thoughts. I hope this was helpful. And if your health is not the way you want it to be, I would love to help. Here at Root Cause Medical Clinic, we help the world's busiest people regain, retain, and reclaim their health, energy, and resilience. We'd love to help you. So reach out to us for a free consultation. The phone number is 408-733-0400, and I'll see you soon.